What's up guys, welcome back. Now today is going to be a little bit different style video. I reached out to some of the guys that I've sold paddle shifter wiring kits to and asked them just to send me a little clip talking about your car or your experience with the paddles and stuff like that. So this is going to be a little compilation of that. So first up is Chris, and he has the Hell X Charger. Now if you don't know the Hell X Charger, it was built by True Street and it was actually a giveaway car. And it's one of the first that had a Hellcat swap in it. And it's still running the Nag 1 trans, but believe it or not, he actually daily drives it. So he reached out, wanted to add paddles to his steering wheel and needed the wiring for it. So I hooked him up. So here's some clips from him.
All right, Anthony, just gave her a little foam bath. This is the 2007 SRTA Charger that has been Hellcat swapped. It's known to, well, rumor has it it's one of the first ever swapped early generation Chargers. So I bought it at the Turkey Run a couple, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, and been loving it ever since. I believe the donor vehicle was a Challenger, and seats and everything ran out of a Challenger. Doesn't have the transmission of a Challenger because back then they didn't have the controllers, to my knowledge, to be able to run the 8 speeds in these vehicles. So it's got a beefed up Nag 1. From Paramount, which is a lot of fun. Been really good since we got the obviously the paddle shifters. So, but yeah, just giving her a little foam bath, and thought I'd give you a shout. I know you wanted a video of the actual vehicle, so that's what we got. We got one of these. We got one of those. We got that's a sleeper one. That's a wide-bodied Hellcat Durango. So we got a lot of horsepower around the old household. So I appreciate all your help with the paddle shifters and everything you got going on. And I look forward to any other videos you post, and anything we can do to help out, just let us know. Thanks. Anthony, hey, what's up? This is Chris. Just wanted to thank you so much for all the videos and tips on the paddle shifting. Just got done checking the oil on the old beast here, but just want to say thanks. All your videos were so helpful. The paddle shifters were great. If anyone has these Chargers, Magnums, 300s, Nag 1s. When I bought this car, it had the transformer already installed on it. Obviously, having that was nice, but I'll tell you what, I almost blew this thing up a couple times using the volume. Someone would call me and I would turn the volume down on the radio and I would downshift twice, and literally almost blew the car up. So, the thing's a blast to drive now. These paddle shifters really, they make a big difference and really bring the car to life. I was impressed with how responsive they were. The kits you put in the videos were super helpful. Me and my son are shade tree mechanics at best, and so to be able to do this, just removing this, how you had everything worked up, and just you taking your time, this shifter's in the proper spot, kind of playing around with where they go. I like them farther back. Yeah, I mean, it was super easy. Removing this to slide it back to install things right by the transmission. Again, like I said, everything was just simple. Really pleased with it. For the cost value, I don't see any reason why anybody wouldn't do it. So thank you so much for all your help and feedback throughout the whole process. And let's go see how they work real quick. All right, let's see if we can do a little.
All right, next up is probably one of my biggest fans, Big Bread 300 on Instagram. You can go check him out. He's got a Chrysler 300, same thing, added paddles to his steering wheel, wanted a wiring kit, so I hooked him up.
Yo, gang, this is Nightfall. Dude was doing a little work. Sorry, I've been procrastinating, but she's there. This is her. We're getting there. That's my baby, man. That's my baby right there. We're just tightening up some of the arrow kit that I put on there the other day. But yeah, this is Nightfall. You tired of them grandpa shifters? You wish you could have a supercar paddle shifters? Well, for your '06 to '10, maybe even higher, you could do it. Alright, there we go. So, see, paddle shifters engaged. Man, Anthony, you the fucking man, bro. You the fucking man, bro. Look at that. Goes back to drive. So we got 5th gear, 4th gear, 3rd gear, 2nd gear, 1st gear. Let's go ahead and try this with this side. Bang, 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 and drive, baby.
All right, and now we have another 300, Blueboat57 on Instagram. You can check him out also, really clean 300. Here's his clips.
What's up guys, Zach here with my 2005 300C. Got basic stuff done. Brumba's up front, catch can, cold air intake. Oh, I got an E85 kit, computer's down there. And then Diablo tuned. I got 4-inch tips out the back with Dynamax race bolts in the middle. I installed these right here, and these light up in the dark, pretty cool actually. And then, of course, paddle shifters. Just make it feel more modern. It's definitely a lot more fun. And then down here, got the Z Automotive to make these shifters work. Yeah. All right, so I gotta make this work. Make sure through your Z Automotive, your steering wheel shifting on, and then put it in this auto stick, and then it should be good. That easy. I'd say it's definitely worth these paddle shifters to make your car feel more modern. I mean, I think they're a little snappier too, or at least it feels like it with the trans kit too. So I think altogether it's just a perfect combo. But you also get more modes with the Z Automotive tuner. That is good.
All right, next up is a pretty nasty Magnum from Zach on Instagram. It's got a Whipple, it's cammed, everything. Again, same thing. He added paddles to a stock steering wheel, hit me up for the wiring kit. So here's his clips. All right, back with another 300, this time from Brody on Instagram. So here you go.
Anthony's Garage asked me to say a couple things about his paddle shifters, and I think I can confidently say that, at least for a cammed Hemi, they do a lot to help you stay in the power band. with your RPMs, obviously having your power band a lot higher, sometimes it just doesn't downshift properly, or it doesn't quite milk all the power out of the high RPMs, and just makes it so easy to stay in power band. The next thing that you have to comment on is not only the quality of the wiring kit that he sends you, but at least for me, we went above and beyond to make sure that I ordered compatible shifters and got them installed properly. Beyond that, his YouTube videos for how to install the paddle shifters, godsend, so helpful. The quality of the wiring kit for these paddle shifters is next level. Like, the effort put into them is astronomical. So yeah, I cannot recommend these paddle shifters enough to any LX Dodge owners, especially with Cam Temi.
And now another Magnum from Kyle on Instagram. Check his clips out.
My name is Kyle, and this is my 2006 Dodge Magnum SRT8. It's a daily driver with 106,000 miles, so nothing is perfect. It's almost stock besides the front brakes. I'm not allowed to tell you who made them due to the custom engraved logo we decided on. If you know, you know. I bought Anthony's paddle shifter kit because I've driven a lot of manual transmission cars, and that is unfortunately not an option for the Magnum. The paddles are a decent compromise and are a much more friendly experience when you want to pick gears compared to the factory shifter. I used Anthony's wire harness kit along with some Mercedes paddles I got on eBay for less than $30. They don't look perfect, but they work great. I did the install myself, which if you work on cars is pretty straightforward. Cutting and drilling into your steering wheel is the scariest part. I'd recommend taking your time on that. Anthony's videos are very helpful. My install looks nice from the front, which is good enough for me. On the back of the wheel, you'll notice some imperfections. Overall, I'm very happy with this install. It's been reliable and fun to play with when cruising the mountains in my land yacht.
All right, and last but not least, my man Marshall from Underdog Builds. And if you don't know who he is, he's on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, I think, and of course, subscribe to his YouTube channel. He's getting ready to do a head swap and cam swap on his 300 as soon as he gets done remodeling his shop. So go check him out, and here's his video.
This is my lightly modified 2005 Chrysler 300C, and I'm utilizing the paddle shifter wiring kit from Anthony's Garage to make my paddle shifters functional. So go ahead and check out Anthony's Garage. His wiring solutions work for all LX chassis Mopar vehicles. This is the Dodge Charger, Challenger, Magnum, and the Chrysler 300C. So as long as your LX chassis Mopar vehicle came with auto stick from factory, you can do this modification, and Anthony's wiring kit will work for you.
Are the pizzas okay?
All right, now, if you're interested in a kit, I offer kits for all 05 to 10 LX Dodges. That's your Chrysler 300, your Magnum, your Charger, and even Challengers. Now, I offer different kits for different years and setups. So because of this, I only sell on Instagram and Facebook via DMs or messaging, just because that way we can talk through what's your best setup for your car and troubleshooting and all that. So you get the one-on-one that you need when you're going to install the kit. So that's where you need to reach out if you want one for your car. Now you have two options as far as paddles. You can mount paddles to your steering wheel. Stock Mercedes paddles work the best. You can also go with a Zen carbon fiber wheel with the paddles already installed. And yes, my kits will work with those wheels also. Now a quick rundown on my kits. First is an 05 to 07 direct wire kit. This is for NAG1 5-speed cars that have factory auto stick. This wires the paddles directly down to your shifter, so the paddles work like auto stick. Now next up, I also offer a direct wire kit for 08 to 10 cars, but it requires a little modification on your end. You have to convert to the older 05 to 07 clock spring, steering column housing, cruise control on the left. So it's a little involved. You gotta swap a lot of parts, source a lot of parts, but the option's there. Then another option for 05 to 10 cars that have factory steering wheel controls and the NAG1 5-speed. And this is by far the easiest way to make your paddles work. It's less wiring, less involved. It's my modified wheel buttons, and you have to use the Xena Automotive transformer. The way it works is the transformer offers steering wheel shifting so that your volume buttons will work as shifting. So what we do is you take my modified wheel buttons, swap them in your car, we'll run the wiring from the paddles to my wheel button assembly, and then whenever you're in auto stick with the transformer installed in your car, the paddles will operate as shifting. And then when you're in drive, the paddles and the volume buttons will both be volume. Like I said, it's the easiest way to do it. And if you want to get a transformer, I have a link. I'll post it right here and down below in the description and at the end of the video, and then use my code anthonysgarage to save some money on it. And of course, I can't forget the Pursuit guys. If you have a column shifter, I have a kit for that also that direct wires your paddles to the column shifter. And then the fifth option, yes, fifth option is a kit I recently came up with for a guy that wanted to shift from the steering wheel but didn't want to mount paddles. And this is for guys that don't have factory steering wheel controls. What I can do is sell you the right side wheel buttons that have the volume buttons and then a direct wire kit. And the way that works is the volume buttons will act as shifting and they'll be direct wired to the shifter at the floor. So you'll have shifting on the steering wheel via the volume buttons, but this, like I said, only for guys don't have factory steering wheel controls but have the NAG1 5-speed. And of course, shout out to all you other guys who've used one of my kits. Really appreciate you trusting me with your wiring needs and the support you've given me during this whole thing. All right, that'll do it for this one. Fun little video I did. Hope you guys enjoy. Thanks for watching. Do all the YouTube things. Big stuff coming for the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one.